Hey there everyone, my name is Monkey Shopno from the Guys Up Games, back with some more Donkey Kong Country 3, and I guess today we're taking on, get in there, we're taking on Mechanos Factory World. Yeah, it can be pretty easy to get stuck on stuff in the overworld, because I guess, I don't know, you just can. That's just the way the game's made. Anyways, factories. So, factories were a thing in the first game, but in this game, they're definitely a lot more like sinister looking and sounding, like thanks to, you know, the new soundtrack. Did you know this game has different music? Wow, who'd have thought? Oh boy, I'm just gonna warn everyone ahead of time. Did not get much sleep, and by much I mean at all. I basically went to sleep for like 2 hours, and then I got up and did stuff. And now I'm here. Ain't that a kick? Wait. I just remembered something. This is a pretty, I guess we'll call it obscure little hidden item that I just forgot about because it's hard to get to it, but, if you come over here as Kitty, stand on top of this platform, jump up here and throw Dixie up. Wait. Where is this? There it is. Okay. Yeah. That's a pretty obscure little hidden item that, well, I mean, it's obscure because it's kind of hard to get. You have to stand on that platform and it's just kind of, you have to throw, which is pretty rare in this game. You don't have to use, I mean, it's not rare, it's actually more common in this game to use Team Go, but you know what I mean, like, for just a random item it is. Anyways, if you couldn't tell, gimmick of this stage, these, I don't know what you'd call them. Like, let's look at this sprite here for a second. I always think they're like an owl. Like, they're like an owl with, like, big eyes. Like, they kind of look like they have, like, glasses on or something. I think that's what they're supposed to be, but who knows. Ooh, jeez. It's probably what they are. I mean, who knows. I always love this weird, like, background element. Like, what is this supposed to be? I guess it's like an oven or something to that degree, but like, what's the middle thing? I don't know anything about machines like this, so I wouldn't have a clue. But it's there. Coin there, and then for some reason there's just an invisible banana bunch over there, even though you pretty much are expected to follow that, so I'm not even sure why they bothered. But you know how it is. Just, if anything, it's like a good indication just to like jump down there and you get it, and it's like, oh yeah, there's hidden items. Anyways, hey look, remember Squitter? Well, the first time you get to play as him in this game, it's just in some random ass bonus. Squitter, plays pretty much exactly the same as the first game, or I guess the second game. God, I keep mincing my words when I say that. The only difference is that just like Squawks, Squitter's web platforms now actually obey, like collision with walls, so if I try to shoot it into a wall, it'll disappear. Can't shoot it below the ground at all. And otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much the same. Let's switch to Dixie here. Just because she's a little more agile when climbing ropes. Anyways, you got this cool little set piece here. You just kind of have to go back and forth. Although, funny enough, it's very much possible to kind of hang out on the edge of the platform because these owls are kind of weird in that the position that they are in kind of varies a bit based on the camera coordinates. Which is why, like, you can see, like, he's barely, like, hitting the platform, but if I move, he actually, like, almost starts, like, hitting me. Which is, I'm not sure why it's like that. I guess it's to make them a little more dynamic, and it's an easy way, I guess, to get them to, like, move without actually making them move. If that makes any sense. I'm gonna go ahead and try something here. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. So, we're gonna throw Dixie over there. Oops! Did not throw her far enough. Who'd have thought? Well, that's fine, because we can just go right on back in. Whoops. This is... I screwed up, which sucks, but, like, this is, like, a good, like, I guess example of something that I haven't talked about yet, is that, your Kong buddy can collect bananas, too. Ah! Frickin' I'm really screwing up here. Screwing the pooch. I guess, I can blame it on my lack of sleep, but I mean, honestly, It's probably just me being a goofball. But hey, it's a good example of the fact that your hitbox changes mid-hit, you know, when you throw, even like when you're not, like, even when you haven't actually thrown them yet. Is any banana gonna appear there? There, thank you. Are you... Wow, she collected one banana. You know, it figures, you know that? It really does figure. I spent all that time. Whatever. Whoop-a-da-doo. Anyways, this is probably like the easiest coin to find in the game, because if you're looking to the right when you go up this platform, you just find them. And like, it's supposed to be like, oh, there's an owl here, but like he shoots rarely enough that it's really easy to do it. Like, it's probably like the easiest coin in the game, honestly. I mean, I guess other than like the first level, but even in the first level, like, the way the wall is set up can be a little tricky. Anyways, got this cool little thing where because they follow, some owls are programmed to follow the camera height, these owls from below kind of come back up to deal with us, which I think is like kind of cool. Anyways, we got probably the hardest part of the level right before the end here. Got this weird little setup here where you kind of just have to go forward here. I swear to God, like, it seems so easy now, but as a kid I could not do this part. I always had to take a hit at the end of the level, and if I had one Kong, I always died there. Every time. Anyways, yeah, there you go. That's our factory level for the day. Except not, because there's a, you know, obviously the factory world has more than one factory. Who'd have thought? Bazooka's Barracks. So let's stroll on in here. Morning, Kong. He's a brigadier. That's cool for him. I never noticed the stuff in the level here. He's got like medals on a picture frame there, which is kind of cool. He fought in a war, and he has a cannon that he thinks is a beauty. And then I guess it's his favorite. You can see, like, you can actually see a thing on the wall that's like got like some, doesn't necessarily have math, but it's got like some like angles for his cannon. Does he tell us anything if we come back in here? Let me see here. It'd be splendid to fire again, but you need some ammo. So yeah, that's basically your little tip there. So if we want him to do anything for us, we need ammo. Which, if you haven't noticed, the running theme of this, of the whole Brothers Bear thing is that they all have items, but they all have different items for each other. So it kind of involves a lot of backtracking. Anyways, I got our first, funny how I'm going to say it's a toboggan level, but, you know, it's, if you think about it, it's kind of weird how the first toboggan level is in a pipe. These levels are actually really cool, even though it doesn't really make any sense, but it's cool. It's cool because you've got like a unique little interaction here where you can actually hang off the top of the pipeline. There's like those railings you can see at the top. And yeah, you can hang off those, and the level kind of revolves around kind of basically choosing whether you want to go off the top or the bottom. Well, I guess I'm replaying this level because I just kind of was so busy talking I didn't think to press down. And I got hit again. Wow, yeah, no. This isn't surprising though. I mean, toboggan levels, as you can see, are very quick. You don't get a lot of time to react. They're basically just reaction levels, and obviously, if I'm sitting here talking a lot, it's kind of hard to react to stuff. There's a lot of hidden items in these levels. Typically, like, there's like an obvious route to go, and if you go the route that's less obvious, you'll get like a hidden item, which I think is cool. Ooh, I missed the... Wow, I missed both bonuses. That's great. Well, that's fine. I also missed a hidden item there. I know if you jump off that dude there, you get a hidden item. Concern it! You know, it figures that I played this game almost flawlessly until now, and then this level destroyed me. Because I'm not focusing, I'm talking, and I have to hiccup. Great. What have I eaten today? I had a bowl of s'mores cereal, and I had a piece of toast with peanut butter on it, so you know, you can tell where I got all my gas from. Truly the most horrible diet. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. It's toboggan levels. They're basically, yeah, they're... How did I miss... I missed it again! Like, The replacement for minecart levels, toboggan levels are those, I guess, replacements for the skull cart levels. Whatever you want to say. They're the minecart levels. They're the levels where you ride on a vehicle, go really fast, and your only control options are to press the jump button. There you go. Anyways, I will meet you back, sadly, when I get to both bonuses because I suck. See you guys then. Jesus. Hey, look, we found the bonus. Look at that. Maybe this time I won't just ignore a ladybug for literally no reason other than I just didn't feel like pressing down. If it wasn't obvious, the controls are, if you want to get off the thing, some people don't know this and they get hit a lot, but it's literally just press down and the jump button. It's basically just an anti-jump. Yeah, so I guess I'll meet you back at the other bonus, because I missed that one too, god. What a mess this level was. See you in a bit. Ugh! Gotcha, okay, we in there! So this one's actually probably easier than the first one because you don't have to worry about reaction, just follow the coins, stars, whatever you want to call them. And there you go! However, I do want to show off one cool, I wouldn't call it an Easter egg, but it's a funny little interaction here. So if you make it to the end of the level but you don't jump into the barrel at the end, you both die, like both characters die. Which I think is hilarious. This is the only time in the series that this is even possible. This and one other level has that interaction, which I think is really cool. Anyways, let's go to Swanky Sideshow. You know, get some cash. Should I just loop through these? I guess I'll loop through these, and once I finish looping through them, I'll probably just keep doing endurance. Anyways, yeah. It's really, I mean, this is by far the easiest one because Cranky is just very incompetent in this one for some reason. It's really easy to just kind of, like, wait for him to, like, miss. Like, hell, if you're fast enough, you can beat him even if he's hitting all of them by just outspeeding him. And he's off to consult his lawyer. Funny how he keeps saying the same thing, like, get a dictionary, fool. It's like the pot calling the kettle black. Anyways, yeah. Enough of that, let's go check out our next tree level, Ripsaw Raid. So if you couldn't tell, the theme of this world is factories and, like, industrialization. So obviously when you've got a forest level, guess what the tree level is going to be like here? Yeah, we got an auto-scroll level, funny enough. I think that's the only auto-scroll level in the series, technically. And yeah, you're basically just slowly climbing this tree, idling with the saw and making sure not to, you know, die, I guess. If you care about that kind of thing. You know, dying, you know, it's not too big a deal. You know, it's like, there's a, if you believe in an afterlife. Ooh, I didn't mean to get all philosophical there for a sec. Yeah, so yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about this level. It's actually, like, as far as gimmicks go, this level's actually pretty straightforward. Like, it's basically just avoid the bottom of the screen. It's a lot like, your standard, platformers from the day and age. Like, if you ever played one of the first Kid Icarus games, you know, it's a lot like that. I haven't even pointed it out yet, but Kitty has that little animation where he kind of does like a look towards the screen when you get a coin, which I always thought was interesting because they only do it for this game, and only Kitty gets one too. Dixie does not get an animation. If Dixie gets a coin, she just stands there for a sec and just strolls on, which I always thought was kind of weird. It's like, why do they waste time with one animation but not for the other character? It's weird. Anyways, if you know what you're doing, you can actually take a lot of shortcuts in this level because there's points when you can kind of like do stuff like, oh no, I just died. I swear to God, I thought that branch was lower down than it was. That's kind of sad, to be honest. I swear, I always remember that branch being lower. Well, I guess there you go. I got hit, and I died on a second level. Imagine that. Funny how I haven't died at all until now, and then I just die like a bunch. 2 times in 2 levels, man. Oh well, that's fine. I mean, this game does have a bit of a difficulty curve. It definitely gets A fair bit harder later on, I would say. There's some levels that are pretty infamous for being difficult. And whether you actually enjoy them or not is a whole other matter. A lot of people are very, I guess, vocal about not liking this game because they feel like it doesn't have any flow. I personally disagree. I do think that, obviously, I don't think it's as great as the first game. Oh, this is the one I was thinking of. And if you're faster, you get this metal cake here, and then you can break open this other buzz. Bada bing, bada boom. But yeah, I don't think it's as good as the first Donkey Kong Country, or the second one, but it's, I still think it's a really good game. I think it's really unique, I think is a big thing for me. That is why I like it. By the way, this is kind of, I wouldn't call it like a redux, but like, this is all very similar to a bonus game from the second game where you're invincible on spikes the whole time, which I think is pretty cool. It's kind of interesting because the saw blade does have like when it's moving back and forth, it is actually like moving you, as you can see when you're in the invincibility. So it's kind of interesting that like that actually has an effect. Ah, crap. Well, that's fine. At least I, didn't die. That was kind of sad. Don't die again. Please get up there. Good. Phew. Jeez. I made a lot of mistakes in this episode so far. God. What else I talking about? Yeah, well, I mean, what else is there to say? I think this game is great, honestly. I think this game gets a bad rap. Part of a big reason why this game gets a bad rap, I think I already mentioned this, is that it was released so late. Like, this came out after the N64. So, like, you bet most people were already, like, going like, oh, shit, N64, yeah. Not really caring about this game. Hey, look, it's our cannon buddy, as it were. This is Bazooka, with a K, is basically a replacement for Cannon in this game. He's pretty similar, because what he shoots, there's no cannonballs, but he can shoot, like, TNT. The big thing between him and Cannon is that you can't actually hurt him, and he can't hurt you by jumping on you. So, it's kind of an interesting thing, where, like, it's a very different interaction, I guess, is the best way to put it. By the way, I always thought, this Squitter song is so weird. I don't know why this is here. If you couldn't tell, Squitter is in this level, too. In fact, Squitter's actually in every factory level, funny enough. I guess Spider's being in factory too. It's also kind of cool. I should point this out right now. You can see that cloud background there. That's actually the exact same background that's used in the rigging levels in Donkey Kong Country 2, like the main brace levels. It's the exact same one. It's just like a slowly moving, like, dark cloud background. I think it's really cool that they like reused it in a way that's really ominous. And yeah, kind of jump over these. So the one thing you can do is you can kill him with TNT, which is, if you couldn't tell, he don't like exploding. But yeah, like, there's a Squitter sign there, but it's like, I'm not sure why they bothered, because like, why would you backtrack, It's just weird. There's a Squitter sign later on, too. I don't think that Squitter sign gives you, like, a good reward or anything. It'd be kind of interesting if, like, you went to that sign and gave you, like, a 3-up balloon or, like, a bunch of coins or something, but no, it's just a random sign they just stuffed in there at the back. I guess they didn't want people... Really? I am so out of it. I guess they just didn't want people to fall down or something? Like, I could not tell you why that's there. Squitter, like I mentioned, he's pretty much like the same. The one major thing is that Squitter's hitbox is a little more generous in this game, which is funny because his hitbox is already small. But like, when he's like about to land, like he goes back to being flat way quicker than you did in the second game, and when he's jumping, his hitbox becomes kind of a bit bigger. So because he flattens out quicker, essentially his hitbox is smaller for longer, which doesn't sound like it makes a big difference, but it does make a difference when you're like jumping from web to web. So like, it is helpful. Now that I think about it, is that a kill all the enemies bonus game, or was that just find the coin and you don't have to kill the enemies at all? I don't remember. I always remember there being one weird one like that. Oh well. So we get a cool, interesting little interaction that we'll see a couple times in later levels. So there's like this weird switch here, and when you touch this switch, it turns into a metal keg. And when it turns into a metal keg, it actually changes what our POW bazooka fires here. So, because he's now shooting metal kegs instead of a wooden barrel, he can now kill our POW coin. Which I think is a really cool little thing you can do. You can see that he can also show TNT barrels, but he can change them into wooden barrels. One big difference in this game, unlike the second game, I forget, is there a thing down here? Yeah. Oh, but this is the kind where you have to shoot out. Oh! He changes back if you go too far away? Really? Oh, right. These switches are on timers. I always forget that. So if you're too slow, he will actually, like, hurt you. But yeah, here's the big difference. Squitter can actually jump off stuff in this game. Like, he can jump on enemies. And, ipso facto on, the barrels. Which is, like, one big change, I guess. Oh yeah, I want to go over here. It's hard to see here, but there's actually a DK barrel below us. Kind of a cool little spot to put it. It's basically your DK barrel for the second half. Bonk, bonk. Nothing there. Kind of cool. The ground is a little transparent. You can kind of see the background through the holes, which I think is really cool. Yeah, the letters in this level are like very much in the way. Like you can see, like it's pretty hard to miss those. You have to like actively be dodging them. Shoot past this guy. Kaboosh. If you couldn't tell, you want to kind of hop over here. You can jump off his barrels because he shoots them fast enough. But like if you do it as Dixie, it's obviously a lot easier. Oh yeah, this is kind of a cool little bonus. So what you're supposed to do is basically, they give you a lot of time for this one because they expect you to kind of work it out. You have to like get the timing down. And you just bounce across on his things. It's kind of cool how it's like you bounce across to get to the bonus, and then they make you do like a little like a different take on it basically. There's you hop across here, jump on here, you get another coin. Kind of an interesting thing about these guys are called crimps. One big difference between these guys and the clamp-ons is that you can actually roll into their backs. Which is nice that, you know, it took them 3 games to finally figure out that, you know, that dude with sharp teeth doesn't have sharp, you know, butt, as it were. And there you go. Another hidden 3-up balloon. This game has a lot of hidden 3-up balloons. More than I think the first 2 games like combined. You've already gotten like 5 or 6 of them, I think. I think there's more of them than like normal balloons. Anyways, we got our first pipeline level. These levels are always really interesting. Well, 2 of them are interesting, and then one of them is kind of like just like it's basically an underwater level, but with a weird gimmick. Technically, we've already seen a pipeline level because our toboggan was in the pipeline, but this is the first one where we're actually like in the pipeline platforming. And it's also the first one where there's, you know, an actual like gimmick, which is this low gravity gas, as it were. The pipeline levels tend to focus on gases and liquids. So like this one focuses on like this gas that slows us down. Is there anything up here? I forget. No. This one both makes us move and jump and fall slower. Whew, that was close. Which creates some interesting steps where you're kind of expected to platform through stuff that normally wouldn't be an issue, but in the context of low gravity, it actually does make it a little tricky. Coin here. Oh, if you have Dixie though, it's really easy because Dixie goes hella slow with her helicopter hair. When you're dropping down those things, you kind of want to be careful. Typically, they're not going to place anything directly below you unless you can see it, and then they'll make you follow the bananas if there's something there. So like you can see here, like they expect you to kind of do this. I'll do a normal one just to show off. This level is also kind of interesting because even though like it's focused on this gimmick of low gravity, you actually get a new animal buddy here. Technically not new, but technically he is new. Our pal Quax from Donkey Country 2. In this game, Quawks can actually flap his wings, unlike Donkey Kong Country 2, but he can't shoot coconuts still. Instead, we'll see what Quawks can do in a little bit, but for now, he's basically just a weaker Squawks. And it's kind of interesting to me that, like, we've got, like, this low gravity setup, and, like, very quickly, like, they're already throwing, like, a new animal buddy in here to kind of, like, mess around with it, too. Like, with the low gravity, it basically makes Quawks into kind of like a slow motion character. There's also this interesting little interaction here. So as you saw earlier, the barrel is kind of like in between these dudes, and you can flap between them. It's kind of hard to line it up, but like it's it's an option. And I always thought that was really interesting because, as you'll quickly find out, there's actually situations later on in the level where you can flap between two red buzzes like that, and it'll actually act as a shortcut. If you see any speedruns of the game, they'll actually use that, which is kind of cool. I believe if you kill this dude... Oh, you don't actually have to kill him. You can just kind of fly up there and you'll get a coin. Anyways, here you just want to follow the bananas. Kind of alternate between the two directions. And there you go. And that shortcut is actually right here. It's a little tighter than before, but you can fit between that. There's no point. I want to say it might be possible to hit him with the TNT, but once again, it's not really worth it. It's better just to kind of go down here. Use the TNT in this dude because, like, once again, it's entirely possible to fit between there, but TNT just makes it safer. And yeah, funny how I just kind of glossed over. That's Quawks' gimmick. Instead of shooting out coconuts, he carries barrels. And it's kind of interesting because you'd think like that, like it's more convenient for Squawks to be able to just shoot things, but being able to carry barrels does mean that Quawks has a couple advantages, namely being able to kill coins and red buzzsaws. Or I guess red buzzes. I keep calling them buzzsaws, they're just buzz. That's their joke. Yeah, like we get a keg here, although I don't think you actually use this one to kill a coin. It's just used to kill a bee. Kind of flap over here and you can get a coin and a 1-up. Hey, 69, my guy. Woof. So if you look over here, there's a sign there, but if you go over here to the right, you can go a little further in and get another sign. Although, funny how I mentioned that, but you don't actually use Quawks to kill coin in this. In fact, you don't even need this barrel because you can see there's a keg right above us. So I'm not even sure why they bothered. It's kind of weird. It's like an oversight or something. It's like they just forgot that they put this keg here. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, oh, wow. Yeah, for some reason the barrels are not actually affected by the low gravity. I guess that's one interaction they forgot about. So like, they do move slower, but they don't have low gravity. It's weird. And this cool thing here is we get a little invincibility if we come all the way to the end here. And with this invincibility, we can go ahead and start booking it. This one sadly does not last that long because there's actually a section over here with a bunch of red buzzes, which the invincibility will obviously be nice and helpful for, but whatever. No big deal. Just make sure to be careful. Like, the key here is pretty much you want to kind of don't bother moving to the right until after you hit the ceiling and kind of use your momentum to carry you past them. Anyways, yeah, you'll notice we've gotten to the end of the world and we have not got a banana bird horde, but we won't be seeing that for a little bit. You have to do a couple things first to get to the one in this world. Until then, though, I guess let's just get into the boss. Chaos Carnage. So if you see the manual for this game, this guy is actually described as like the head honcho of this game. Like, K.Rool is not supposed to be in this game. This is actually the final boss of the game. And it's kind of cool that you get like a little early bird cameo of him. I'm gonna switch to Dixie because Kitty kind of sucks for this fight. Because his hitbox is really big. So he has a hard time running under this guy. Because yeah, if you couldn't tell, the whole trick here is you want to kind of run under the fire when it's high up. Because of it, even when it's like, even when he's not shooting to the ground. Kind of cool little interaction. I'm gonna take it down to show this off. How like when you jump on him, he actually like ducks down and his fire will hit the ground. What? That didn't count? Shoot! I forgot that doesn't. That's kind of a weird interaction. Normally that does work. I guess because I jumped on his head right when he like started moving again. Because normally there's actually a speedrun trick you can use where you can kind of team throw above him to kind of like jump on his head repeatedly, and you can basically just like combo him in like one jump, which is really cool. Anyways, yeah, hit him enough times, his little inside head, or I guess his outside head, pops off, and now we can see like this weird like I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but looking at this now, in hindsight, it's probably supposed to be like a Terminator head. Like I always thought those black eyes were just like black eyes, but I think those are supposed to be like sunglasses. In fact, in hindsight, it's actually kind of really obvious what it's supposed to be, because it's like a robot. Like, no duh. It's a pretty goofy robot though. Like you can see, like if you take too long to jump up to him, he like uses boxing gloves to like push you off, which is really goofy. Like I really love how this game has this like this funny thing where like it's both serious and goofy at the same time. Where like you got this like honestly like kind of like creepy looking like Terminator head, but then it's like he punches you off with boxing gloves. Anyways, you jump on him enough times, he flies away telling us he's gonna win next time, and then his little head slowly flies on down and kaboosh, and we get another ski lift. Ski, whatever you want to call it. And funny enough, you go in the little pipe there and you come up at the start. It's one of those, I guess, level ending things that you don't actually get to use. Let me show off one other thing here for a sec here, because like I mentioned, this is another one where you can actually use the boss thing to leave. I mean, most people probably know this if you ever like replay stuff, but it's like, it's just weird to me how it's like some of them you can use and some of them you can't use. Like it feels like, I don't know, like they should have just made them all usable or none of them, but whatever. Anyways, now that we've defeated Chaos, there we can head on into Bramble and he'll tell us some information here. I'm glad those horrible machines are destroyed. Perhaps beautiful flowers can start to grow again now. So this one's interesting. They're eventually, not right now, but eventually we can come back here and get something. But for now, we can't actually get anything yet. It does not come... the item we need from Bramble does not come until a fair bit after we actually defeat Mechanos. Anyways, we come over here. How's it going, Herocons? I'm not surprised you're stuck. You haven't even searched around the rocks. Oh no, not again. I can't believe I just said that. So yeah. You can see he keeps on telling us more information. So right now, he's told us that it's related to those rocks up there, which is interesting. But we'll see how that goes later on. But for now, we're going to head on back here. Go ahead and save our game. So, this part went, honestly, not that great, but whatever. Oh, I guess I should point this out since I think it's the first time we've seen this. Cranky is actually playing on Nintendo 64 right now, and if you listen to the music, you might recognize it. We'll play for a little bit there. And so yeah, if you couldn't tell already, that's the castle theme for Super Mario 64, which is like a really... the best way to put this is it's like an Easter egg, but it's really interesting, I think. Kind of like the weird kind of interesting, where it's like, this is a game on a Super Nintendo and it has a song from a console that technically came later, but obviously, you know, it makes sense because this game was released after Super Mario 64 came out. So it's like a funny little interaction. Or, not interaction, but you know what I mean. Anyways, let's save the game there. We're at 49%, so we're just under halfway done the game, because we've beaten 4 worlds, and we have 4 more to go. So yeah, that's it for this part. See you guys later. Aren't you going to give your favorite relative a goodbye kiss? Get out of there!